I said jump, jump. Go ahead and jump, jump. David Lee Roth. Look. Michael James, Miguel, you're very aggressive. You're unnecessarily aggressive with your verbiage. You still won't box me. You won't take it to the boxing ring. You're just this right here. Come on, box the old man. I'm 49. I got a bad back, got a terrible shoulder. Come on, let's go to the ring. Let's get that in, all right? Anyway, you don't want to jump in that ring. Go ahead and jump, jump. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that David Lee Roth in the ring, Mikey. Anyways, Justin Verlander. Okay, so although you are unnecessarily aggressive, you do bring up a good point, Miguel. That Justin Verlander has been traded to the Astros. And when we look at the Astros record, I mean, they've won 80 games. So right now that puts them, 4 games ahead of Cleveland, I think. And another point you bring up is tribute. And I am going to say this. If I was just now making a prediction on who's going to win the World Series, and I saw that, I looked at all the numbers, looked at who was ahead of everyone, which is the Dodgers, LA, and then looked at all the winnings, I would definitely go with the Astros. But I'm not. I'm still going to say Cleveland because that's what I felt when I started. If I'm wrong, I'm fine with being wrong. I'm still going to go with Cleveland. They have great momentum right now. Their numbers are going to skyrocket after they kick the crap out of Detroit. So they're still in it. So I'm still down with Cleveland 100%. But being that Justin Verlander is on the Houston Astros and Houston is going through this whole, this Hurricane Harvey ordeal, this terrible, terrible natural event that's happened to him, this catastrophe, tribute is right in line with the way things go. It just brings up hope. It brings money back into the city, back into the state. It brings hope to everyone in the country that there's still some good out there after loss of life, loss of property, homes, pets, and everything else, so and so I agree with you on that. If I just start making a prediction on it now, you also have to look at it, and the fact that he just got traded there, Justin Verlander. It's all swinging in that direction. So I totally get that. I totally understand it. I'm trying to listen to some news on Justin Verlander, and they're talking about him. See if we can get some verbiage here.
Have before. That's an October presence.
Let's see here.
Justin Verlander gives the Astros a presence that they did not have before. That's an October presence. That's a stretch run presence. That comes from being part of 5 postseason teams, from winning a Cy Young Award and an MVP award, from being at his best when the spotlight is the highest. He has a presence from a credibility that is crafting a Hall of Fame resume, and he suddenly gives the Astros rotation, and in fact the entire Astros, a completely different look. The Astros got way better today.
Yeah, so just with that alone, it looks like the Astros are going to be, they're already in there, so it's just a matter of, it's just a matter of, okay, who does what now? Now, the reason why I'm still going with Cleveland is simply timing. It's simply timing. Nobody foresaw the hurricane to come through. So it's simply the timing of everything is right for Cleveland to win, as far as I'm concerned. That's where I'm going with that. And this is not only the timing in baseball, it's timing in baseball and basketball. It's timing for the city of Cleveland. That's what I based my, my guess on, my prediction on, I'm gonna stick with that. The hurricane does throw a huge, chink in the armor, and I mean, if we look at major catastrophic events that have happened and all of a sudden teams have won, in other words, like you said, Miguel, tribute, you're going to have to, go to New Orleans. Right after, Katrina came through, the Saints won. And that was no accident. You know what I mean? Deuce McAllister, those guys, they pulled it out, and, everybody felt hope again for, New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just like, yeah, the Saints, they haven't won since. They haven't won a Super Bowl since. But everybody was like, yeah, Drew Brees, we feel better that this team won. It bring more notoriety to the city. Which is good and bad, because you found out there were a lot of bad things that happened during Katrina. Let's get this straight. It's not always good to have the light shined on you, because people can see your good and your bad. And they started seeing what the property owners were doing to the people who the property first belonged to. And then the whole issue of, the army actually being there and blowing up the levee. So that whole thing just blew up in everybody's face. Like, the levee didn't break on its own. It was the military was there and blew the damn levee up. And then all that water came through, and then once it all receded, you had a bunch of rich people went and bought the property that was owned by other people already. They bought the property, bought up all that property, and then they started selling it at a higher price. So there was a lot of criminal stuff going on, that bring into question. Now, I'm saying this because don't think the same thing can't happen in Houston. Don't think that, a lot of those people who were driven out of their homes, 30,000 people displaced, 20 people killed. Don't think that there's no criminal events like happening down there. You already have Best Buy who are gouging people for water, costing $42 for a case of water. And they're saying, oh, this is only one store that did that. It's like, no. There's price gouging there, and in gasoline stations. There's all kind of criminal activity that happens when it comes to this. So it's not always good to shine a light, just right now. Sometimes you might want to delay that a little bit and then get the people behind you, so on and so forth. Joel Osteen, it's another person who got the light shined on him, and he is not enjoying that whatsoever. He's got a lot of bad press, and he's doing a lot of press conference to try to make up for him not opening his church when the people really needed him. So he's going through that right now, and the world has seen this because he's worldwide. He's the biggest church in Houston. He's probably the biggest church that there is. And the world has seen what he's done. So I'm saying all that to say, they got Justin Verlander, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the tribute will happen this year. It doesn't. It can happen next year, and everybody will still be 100% behind Houston. It's your boy Tone 202. God loves you, man. Don't forget, grow up, get yourself saved. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a good church home. Love the Lord thy God, Jesus, the Christ. I'm out.